Something about a high mountain Colorado pass before sunrise makes me forget all the pain I endured on the trail. Like the time I got blown off balance along a windy ridge at Copper Mountain, when I struggled through a long waterless section near Salida, or when I gasped for breath at 13,000 feet and felt like I couldn't go one step farther. A salmon-colored morning tantalizes the soul. It kindles the senses, rescues hope, and it fills me with gratitude for life itself. Yes, a sunrise might just be nature's way of teaching us how good it is to be alive. I'm starting out at Indian Creek in early August with Linus, who I met and hiked with on the PCT in 2022. Flash and Burn will meet us 40 miles up the trail where the elevation is higher and the conditions are cooler, a necessity for a husky. The first day on the trail is a scorcher, and we feel like rotisserized chickens. The Platte River offers some relief. We hatch a new improvised strategy: wake early, hike early, and try to bust out as many miles as possible before the heat bastes us. We feel something like predators out for a romp, protected by the dark. Our minds are focused on water, shade, and relief. Bailey, a trail town 40 miles in, offers us a chance to adjust to the realities of the trail. We camp near the river at Two Rivers Lodge, relax, and learn from other hikers. The heat has exacted a toll on them too. Flash and Burn are anxious to press ahead.
My trail name is Flash. I really don't like it, but I haven't had any other trail names come along. And I got it because when we were training for the PCT, I was taking clothes on, off, because I was having hot flashes, and my husband started calling me Flash. Now I like the towns, and I like when I'm up in the tundra and it's beautiful scenery and walking on tundra.
We hone a routine that we will perfect over the next 40 days. Eat, drink, walk, sleep. All that we need fits into our pack, simple yet essential. It's considered a good water year after 2 years of drought. All our thoughts and concerns sink through our footsteps into the trail. We start to collect a loose-knit trail family of mostly younger hikers who seem to enjoy our company. And they were particularly drawn to Bern, who always has the air of a trail princess. The trail has a way of promoting human connections, regardless of age or other social divisions. Conversations flow easy, like a mountain spring. Reduced to the lowest caste of trail trash, the trail forces us to be transparent. One hiker said she was trying to recover from the corrosive effects of religion. Another hiker worked as a prison guard, where he saw the very worst in people, and the trail taught him that there really were good people in the world. And still another was having trouble figuring out a direction in life. The trail can be a therapist, trainer, and rabbi. We are all, in one way or another, refugees from the human race. At Kenosha Pass, we encounter our first dose of serious trail magic. Smurf, the camp host, offers drinks, dinner, and conversation for weary hikers. He cooks designer tacos, and there's plenty of food to make even a glutton blush. Are you still hungry? Do you want more? Was his refrain. If you leave here hungry, it's your own fault. Thirds on tacos? I blush. Don't mind if I do.
Summer, pretty lover, won't you come my way? I've got something on my mind that I need to say. With my heart far gone, love's been hard to find. No summer, pretty lover, won't you please be mine? And no, don't you keep so close, 'cause I hurt the ones I love the most. And no, don't you say my name, 'cause I'm not the only one who changed.
I am Dina Carr, and I am attempting the Colorado Trail. I'm doing an unsupported fastest known time record. Technically, there are no records for unsupport. Probably, I don't know. People probably have tried, but maybe they haven't finished it. And I'm trying to go. Yes, I'm going from Denver to Durango, West Collegiate. So I believe it's 495 miles, and my original goal was 11 days, but it'll probably be more like 12, 13 days at this point. Well, The biggest mileage I did was 48 and the lower mileage was 30. And so right now I'm on day 5, but averaging the first 4 days I think was 37 miles is an average right now. So trying to hit 38 miles today before I sleep. And my goal is to still attempt to reach that 12-day mark if I can.
From Kenosha Pass on, we start to encounter steeper elevation gains and descents. The days become moodier, and afternoon hailstorms and showers hit regularly. The passes seem to demand a pound of flesh. Sometimes I struggle to make the ascents, and I realize at age 64 the day will come when I will be too weak and feeble to make these climbs. But I tell myself that that day is not this day, not this climb. I got you. We meet Bear, who in a sense has adopted us. He's hiked the Colorado Trail twice. He came over to America during the Libyan Civil War in 2011 and teaches high school math. He is polite, kind, and empathetic. He takes on the role of master guide and storyteller. If you ever see him on the trail, make sure he tells you the story of his trip to Creede, Colorado.
My name is Ahmed, and my trail name is Bear. And I got this name in 2020 when I was the first time I did the trail. So I was like really worried about bears. So I brought like bear canister, bear spray, and a lot of stuff for protection. And for 46 days I had seen no bears. And when I get to town, guess what? There was like a bear in front of the restaurant where I was like having lunch. So I was okay. I got it in the wilderness, but not in the wilderness, but I saw it in city. So I got this name by that. I like the nature, like walking by trees and mountain, by being by myself and meeting the new people, chatting with them. That gives me like a good feeling.
A stretch of stormy days is in the forecast, and Bear warns us that hiking the high West Collegiates might be too dangerous because of thunderstorms. So we opt to switch to the lower elevation East Collegiates, which we came to realize was a wise decision.
Good job, dear.
We hitch a ride with a family headed to the airport, who let us know they stopped mainly because, well, they wanted to meet Bern.
I'm not made of brick nor stone, but more than flesh and bone. This old body is a temporary home, like poetry of the soul, written on a scroll. I will be your temple if you need. So I'll shed the old skin from end to end, the old inside out to the new.
Long days on the trail. Your mind tends to wander through the trees, over the ridges, through the clouds. Most of the time I hike alone with my own thoughts. I'm conscious of every ache in my knees and feet and of my breathing. I have slowly shed the old person I was at the start of the trail. I'm leaner, more energetic, less talkative. You have to be something of a loner to hike long distances.
I belong on the long winding road to the sea. I am the shelter from the storm.
Backpacking long distances forces you to confront life's essentials and recognize how you can be happy with very little. Carrying everything you need in your pack, you realize how few things you need to be happy. A hot cup of coffee, a warm bed, shelter, cold water stream. Backpacking is one of the few counter-cyclical cultural forces in our American world that proves the proposition that less is more.
When I'm gone, remember me, and I will be your temple. I will be your sanctuary, I will be your temple if you need.
From Monarch Pass, Flash, Burn, and I head out. Linus has decided to rest his aching foot. This is the dry section, the one I feared most. 100 miles with no trail towns for relief. It could be a tipping point if we make it through this section to Lake City. We encounter 2 trail angels on the way. A couple who recently hiked the trail offers us chips and a drink. And then there's Jolly Rancher, who was kind enough to cook hot dogs, even one for Burn. But there were long slogs pulling cow piss water that we both filtered and treated with iodine tablets. Outside Salida, I could hear their arrogant bellowing, incontinent whining. You irreverent, stinking, lowest forms of reincarnation range maggots, I retort. Scattered turds can be seen everywhere. They ooze the trail, in campsites, next to rivers, like the leftovers from a Bolshevik family reunion. As a pseudo-historian interested in proximate, if not proctologic causes, I start to wonder how it got this way. How the trail became so littered with cow pies. So, I summon my inner shaman, and then at dawn, the origin poem was revealed to me. The Trail of Turds. From Santa Fe Way came Cowboy Bob Patty. To Salida Cattle Country, absent a lassie, a Stetson on his head and a pinch between his cheeks, a campfire beneath the stars, a bath every other week. Upon his horse Rex he rode like a lord, His subjects were cattle that the greenies abhorred. Loneliness bit the high Colorado winds as a coyote howled. He wondered how it might have been if he had just gotten hitched to First Spark Valerie, city townhouse, a steady job, a weekly salary. On a ridge one morn he gazed across the range, a flash in a distant brook, his eyes flummoxed strange. He spurred Rex closer, and to his surprise, a bathing red-headed girl, her hair lit by the sunrise. And high above he sat transfixed. If he rode away, would opportunity get nixed? But something stirred in his blood, call it gumption, although he feared his woo was too rusty to function. As Rex ambled near, her eyes filled with fear, and Bob choked up his best broken Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer day? Ah, oh crud. Morning, ma'am. Would you like some mud? Now Jenny had never been wooed in such a fashion. New York men were quicker and slicker and had better washing. But there was something about Bob she just couldn't deduce. A man with the bark still on and blue eyes set to seduce. And like a tumbleweed in a storm, their love tickled the earth. Along the trails their budding affection added some girth. He spoke of a house he would build in the trees, of growing the herd he would meet all her needs. He gave her a bronze pony, renamed the brook First Sea. They hiked the secret trails until the frost clinged to the trees. They held hands next to the campfire light. Bob was rescued from coyote nights. But then one night it rained, lightning lit the sky, and Jenny was shaken, she could no longer lie. And while never considered much of a contrarian, she confessed to Bob she was a vegetarian. And though she truly wanted to be his lassie, she couldn't quite stomach a life as a cow patty. And so for love, Bob never again got a hanker after Jenny left and married a banker. So he done what he could, and he couldn't do much. Bitterness raged inside, and he drove his cattle to the brush. And prunes and beans he mixed into their graze and turned them loose to the trails he and Jenny made. Never before in the history of cowboy amour had the sphincters of cows been used in total war. The turds flew in all directions, like a Texas oil well they spewed. It was nasty, it was vile, but mostly it was crude. Old faithful cow pies projectiled through the air. They defiled everything sublime, everything fair. They suffocated the beaches, the meadows and trees. They took no prisoners with their oozy sleaze. They plagued the land, left it humiliated. They left no stone undefecated. But it was the trails where the cows directed their wrath. Bob never wanted a hiker to enjoy a clear path. And to this day you know from whence the turds were born, and how a broken-hearted cowboy unleashed his scorn. Later on, I decide to revenge the cows, summoning the ancient arts of my sapient ancestors. Let us have a moment of silence to pay tribute to the noble range cow. Who else will bear the responsibility of keeping Americans' cholesterol levels up, fat, and providing gainful employment for the cardiac industry? We push through Salida country. I now knew there was a chance of completing this hike once we made it to Lake City. I was reluctant about claiming confidence in reaching the end, an act I called rubber lipping, because for 2 years I was turned back at Hart's Pass on the PCT, 30 miles from the finish line, due to fires. Until this moment, I was wondering if I was somehow jinxed from completing a thru hike. It was on the first day out of Lake City, we were all there together, our whole dang tramily.
I've been thinking about you, so beautiful and lovely. I wish you could see it all the way I do, so pure and true. And I've seen you in the sun, shining warm upon your skin, young feet wandering in the harbor there, and every summer since. Ooh. Your song is alive, it's filling all the empty, eternity within these walls, within your precious heart. Ooh. And the days can be cruel, I know the hours take a toll, I know it's hard to open up the doors and let me see inside, but the dark is alright. I'm not bothered by the quiet, and a secret is a welcome thing. My arms are open wide, my arms are open wide. Oh.
The San Juans defy superlatives. Sculpted canyons, broken cathedrals, and rivers shaped by time. Part surreal, part impressionistic, completely hypnotizing. The final crescendo to a heroic symphony. The San Juans beckon you to enter, beg you to stay, and seem to seduce you like the sirens. few people have asked me whether I fear dying in the woods. Do I fear having my head ripped off by a bear or a mountain lion toying at my entrails, or getting lit up by lightning? I am neither heroic nor stoic, but I'm okay and would actually prefer dying in the woods with my boots still on. Somewhere on the trail, I ran across a story about a 60-year-old Wells Fargo employee in Tempe, Arizona, who died in her cubicle and wasn't discovered by her coworkers until 4 days later. It's that kind of death I find terrifying. I imagine what it was like for her parents taking her to kindergarten when her life was so full of promise, and how heartbreaking it would be if they could have fast-forwarded ahead some 55 years and see her fate. I wish this lady could have somehow found her way to the trail, to have experienced just one beautiful sunrise, or the laughter of squirrel or bear, or the wild howl of burn, to bathe in a creek during the moonlight, to give her just one taste of the divine before, well, we all enter a land, as Hamlet said, from which no traveler returns. If I die with my boots on, I'll be okay. Not a bad way to go. You by me? Silverton is our last brush with civilization until the trail's end. After living in self-imposed homelessness, I greet a trip to town with joy, as if I had just won a luxury vacation on a game show. My body craves a warm bed, clean sheets, hot shower, and greasy food.
Anything else for you today? 17:05.
The Sumerians or Indians may have developed the concept of zero, but a thru hiker demonstrates its full glory. From Silverton, everything comes into focus. Our pace quickens. A certain melancholy contentment sweeps my mind. Soon it will be over. I think about the last pass, last water stop, last morning coffee, and last tent pitch. All the anguish, out-of-breath moments we experienced. A long walk forces us to confront the essential questions in our life. What should we aspire to? What constitutes the good life? How should I pursue it? The trail teaches us the difference between existing and living, to live closer to love than fear, to look beyond appearances and people, to find joy in new adventures and discoveries, to greet the natural world like a child. It means rebuking the old man within from resting his corpulent haunches on our souls. Random moments on the trail play before my mind like a kaleidoscope. The doubts, the hardships, exhaustion, epiphanies, and moments of grace. My mind conjures more images of the good than the bad. Those moments when beauty and peace rose up and rescued me from the absurdities and madness in our world. I have overcome pain and self-doubt, been cold, hot, miserable. I've met some of the most kind-hearted, broken, misplaced, adventurous people on earth. I've been pummeled by hail, awakened to starlit mornings, and listened quietly on top of mountain passes as the winds shared secrets only I could hear. I realize what a gift it is to walk on this earth, to feel my heart pounding in my chest, the wind against my skin, my body connected to the earth. Mostly, I realize how lucky I am to be alive.
Whoa, whoa, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh. If I was a needle in a haystack, in some lonely field way out west, well, you would know just where to find me, find me. It's a long, long road when you wander far from home, but I know your eyes, they roam. Whoa, whoa, oh.
What? I can't hear you. What?
You want the tie back?
No. She's got an umbrella.
Let me see how well it covers.
Can I borrow it for a while?
No.
Can I borrow your
You
umbrella?
could have gotten one, and you just chose not to. You can have the tie back.
But wasn't that in the wedding vows that
Nope.
if a little hail should fall,
Nope.
I'll give up the umbrella for your
Nope.
husband?
Nope.